You know what's better than sleek sci-fi with a $200 million budget? Retro sci-fi that had no money, no rules, and way too much confidence. These were movies made with fog machines, recycled sets, and raw ideas. They weren't polished, but they had guts. And that's why they've stuck around. If you're into weird aliens, busted futures, and laser-blasting chaos that shouldn't work but does, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Trancers, 1984. Time travel? Check. Mind-controlled zombie puppets called Trancers? You bet. A no-nonsense cop from the future named Jack Death who shoots first, talks and growls, and hates Christmas? Absolutely.
I'm from another time, another world.
Trancers is what happens when you take film noir, cyberpunk, and a dash of soap opera, then crank the synths. Jack's mission: travel back to 1985 and stop a psychic creep from turning people into mindless enforcers. His ally? A punky waitress played by a young Helen Hunt. The movie's dead serious about its nonsense, and that's why it works. It knows its budget, plays to its strengths, and never overstays its welcome. It's the kind of B movie that's cooler than it has any right to be. Xtro, 1982. Xtro doesn't ease you in. It throws you into the deep end and lets the weirdness wash over you. A man disappears in a beam of light, then reappears years later, changed. What follows is part alien dread, part domestic meltdown, part hallucination. There's psychic terror, body horror, and an alien birth scene that will stick with you whether you want it to or not. It's grimy, mean-spirited, and completely unfiltered. You don't watch Xtro for logic. You watch it for the audacity. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't have to. It feels like it crawled out of a warped VHS tape left in the sun too long, and somehow got better because of it. The Hidden, 1987. It opens with a guy robbing a bank and crashing a Ferrari through a storefront. He gets lit up by cops, and then someone else carries on exactly where he left off. That's because there's something alien jumping from person to person, wreaking havoc as it goes. And the only person who's tracking it? An offbeat FBI agent who clearly isn't from around here either. The Hidden blends sci-fi with 80s cop movie chaos in the best way. It's fast, punchy, and oddly funny in moments you wouldn't expect. The action's great, the pacing's tight, and the concept stays just grounded enough to make it feel fresh, even now. If this one slipped under your radar, it's well worth fixing that. Spacehunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, 1983. Mutants, laser battles, bounty hunters, and Molly Ringwald wandering a radioactive desert in full Brat Pack survival mode. Spacehunter was built for early 80s 3D theaters, but what keeps it alive is its pure enthusiasm. Everything here is cranked up: junkyard spaceships, gnarly warlords, gritty wastelands, and a villain named Overdog who looks like he came out from a heavy metal album cover. It's rough around the edges, but that's part of the charm. The effects are practical, the tone is wild, and the energy is big enough to forgive the flaws. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon that took a detour through a demolition derby, and somehow came out the other side smiling. Hardware, 1990. Set in a scorched future where radiation has turned cities into scrap heaps. Hardware follows a scavenger who brings home robot parts for his girlfriend's sculpture. Problem is, those parts belong to a killer droid built by the military, and it's not as offline as it looks. The rest of the movie plays out like a slow, tense spiral into techno-horror. The apartment locks down, the machine wakes up, and everything turns into a battle for survival inside 4 claustrophobic walls. Hardware thrives on atmosphere, blistering red light, crashing noise, and a sense of constant threat. It's raw, intense, and surprisingly stylish for something made on pocket change. It doesn't try to be flashy, it just burns its way into your brain. Not every movie needs polish or a stacked cast. Sometimes all it takes is guts, grime, and a wild idea no one else would try. Got a favorite from the vaults? Drop it in the comments. We're always digging. And if you're into overlooked gems, busted up brilliance, and genre chaos that still hits, subscribe to Cult Rewind. Until next time.